Tupelo volleyball is back on air as they host division rival Madison Central in an important late season matchup. The Lady Wave enters 17-12-1 with a 4-3 record in Division II 7A, while the Jags are a solid 13-4 and 6-1 in the league. Welcome into tonight's broadcast presented by Dr. Carl Bevering, Dylan Hutton alongside Wes Schrickle, Zach Zimmerman producing. And Wes, it's a Tupelo team that we haven't seen in over a month, and it's been a odd stretch for them. They got off to that hot start in division play, but have cooled off. They've lost 6 of their last 8 and 3 straight in division after starting, as I said, 3-0. And all those losses in division have been on the road. And tonight, Madison comes in 6-1 in division play. They've not had any trouble except for against the best team in the division, Germantown, who Tupelo's already beaten one time. Madison will play Germantown later this week. But this is a very important seeding game for Tupelo. They try to stay ahead of Starkville. They're third in the current standings.
Yeah, and you're not too far behind both Madison Central and Germantown. They both have to play each other still. So really, this is kind of a make-or-break kind of time for positioning and seeding in the division. You know this team can play with any of those teams. We've seen it. Playing at home is a lot better than it is playing on the road. But we know that we can play with. We beat Germantown, the only loss Germantown has had in the division this season. So we know we can do it.
And again, head coach Laura Booth in her first season. Previous stops, 10 years at Eastern High School in Louisville, Kentucky. And then last year she led a previous 2-win Ripley squad to 17-17 in just one season and their first playoff berth in 9 years. She has done a great job reinvigorating this Tupelo Lady Wave volleyball program that leans on a senior group of leaders, including Trinity Judon, Mamie Shettles, Lauren Zimmerman, Sarah Foster Brown, Cabria Garth, and Gracie Hopkins, who we talk all about quite a bit. But you've been impressed with Lauren Zimmerman and her confidence that she's had this year, especially up there taking the big swings at the net.
Yeah. There's like I said, there's no shortage of talent. There's a lot of these girls. They all know what they're doing. Part of it is just kind of maybe needing a refresh. That's a long road stand that they were on, and sometimes you just kind of need to get things reset, get back into your home turf, and take care of business.
Our volleyball coverage is presented by Dr. Carl Bevering, who's been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner. And our pregame show and broadcast booth presented by Barnes Crossing Hyundai. Discover your next new or used ride at Barnes Crossing Hyundai on North Gloucester in Tupelo. View their inventory online at bchyundaioftupelo.com. Keys to the game and aces are presented by McCarty Architects. Raising Cane's our match, reset, and timeouts. Super Chicks with our storylines and first serve. And then our set sponsors, Set 1, Barnes Crossing Volkswagen and Hodges Orthodontics, will go down to the floor for the singing of our national anthem. Thomas Roper will sing it here inside the arena tonight. For over 40 years, McCarty Architects has provided professional design in education, healthcare, and senior living markets. McCarty takes pride in developing projects with innovative solutions that provide lasting value and contribute to the success of their clients. Visit them online at McCartyArchitects.com. And welcome back in the dark here as we get the starters introduced for the Lady Wave as they've cut off all the lights and have the spotlight on. They're going to introduce the entire team. And Wes, it's time to get our keys to the game, brought to you by McCarty Architects. What does Tupelo need to do to try to get off this skid, especially in division play against a tough opponent?
It just sounds like they need a bit of a reset. I don't know that you really want to do too much different. I'm sure Coach has a few different wrinkles here or there to try to change up some things in the lineup. Some of the rumors I'm hearing pregame, some maybe slight adjustments, maybe that'll get Tupelo going. But I think you gotta just do the things you know to do. And I mean, I know that's simple, but you gotta get off to a good start. You gotta feed your hitters, and you'll be fine.
This match kicking off a big week here at Tupelo High School. The golf team will be playing, the boys golf team that is, will be playing at Tupelo Country Club in their home match coming up on Thursday. And then we have the big night under the lights at Renaissance Stadium with Oxford coming to town to take on the 3-0 Tupelo Golden Wave under head coach Ty Harden. And it is the community tailgate. Starts at 5 o'clock on Friday. So I know everybody's ready to pack out the practice field and be ready to roll on this to cap off the week, I should say. And we're set here to get things started on campus with the new seats, Wes. Totally revamped in here and a lot more comfortable probably for folks sitting down in front of us.
Yeah, I have not sat in the new bleachers, but it looks nice.
We should have sent you down in the pregame to go test it out.
A little bleacher scouting.
Bleachers the same as the ones that are in the dome, so matching the school colors as well as we get set. Both teams with a handshake as we ready for this important division matchup. Madison Central, as much as we talk about Germantown running the division, Madison Central has had their fair share of success in what was 6A and now is 7A in the volleyball ranks. The head coach, Cindy McEachern, for Madison Central as we get set for set number one. Barnes Crossing Volkswagen.
First place, right? So that's like, really the pressure's on them tonight. You said they have Germantown tomorrow or next game?
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean the pressure's really on them. Hopefully Tupelo can put some of that road stand behind them and get off to a good start.
Starters for the Lady Wave of Tupelo, Lauren Zimmerman, along with Trinity Judon and Gracie Hopkins on the front. Lily Shettles, Mamie Shettles, and Kennedy Simmons on the back row for the Lady Wave. And for Madison Central, Caroline Dixon, Kenzie Williams, Caroline McIntyre, Farrah Fulcher, and Morgan Martin, as Madison in their road orange uniforms, Tupelo in the new gold with blue gradient tops for them.
And we already see a little bit of that change and that wrinkle with Dylan Miller playing the libero position instead of Lily Shettles tonight. Just mixing things up a little bit, I think, is what Coach is doing. Looking at some different looks, seeing if just maybe a little change to the lineup will have a good effect for the team.
Madison will get things started. Morgan Martin with the first serve. Will be presented by Super Chicks Chicken and Custard on West Main Street in Tupelo. Again, the keys to the game by Wes were brought to you by McCarty Architects, and we're underway on this Tuesday night at Tupelo High School. And a kill to open things up for the Lady Wave. Doesn't get much better than that, Wes.
Well, I was not at the game last night, but I heard Gracie had an incredible game. She come out again with a good solid hit. We know, even though despite her size, she can hit really well, and when all else fails, she can be someone you can go to.
Speaking of Hopkins, she'll serve it for the Lady Wave, who lead 1-0, now tied 1-1 is a rare service error for her. Don't see that very often out of Gracie Hopkins, a senior leader. 1-1, and Simmons in, and it's an ace for Madison Central.
I mean, that was an incredible serve. there by Kinsey Williams from Madison Central. I mean, it had a lot of movement on it. Like we said many times, a good serve is like a knuckleball sometimes, and that one just moved and died.
Another ace, back-to-back McCarty aces for Kinsley Williams. 3-1. The road team striking first.
You gotta get a stop here, get a side out. You can't let Madison Central go on a run early.
Miller gets it up off the floor. She's playing libero tonight. That's been a rotation really for Tupelo, trying to find what works. And another point for the Lady Jags. You're seeing why they're at the top in this division right now, the way they've come off the bus here. And if you're just tuning in, they had a fantastic JV match, went down to the wire. Both sets went over 25 points as Tupelo ended up getting the sweep in the JV game. Zach Zimmerman and Mason Ballard had the call on that one.
We need to get Kinsey Williams off the service line as fast as possible. That looked very in to me.
They rule out, and the point, as we'll take a look at it and slow it down in the process. Maybe
yeah,
it was
in. That was like incredibly in.
The only thing I could think of is maybe it was outside the antenna on its way, a cross-court hit, and it's just in. Maybe a give-back call there for Tupelo.
I think they called that out, didn't they? Oh, nope.
Nope. Just in.
The one. Oh, I think it was. I was looking at the coach, thinking that the coach was the line judge. Of course, she called it out.
5-2. Madison Central early. Big hit and the kill for Madison Central.
Well, they've got some hitters.
That they do.
Number 26 there. You got to be ready when she goes up to hit.
6-2. And Tupelo ends up with the point. Does seem early in the year, at least the last time we saw Tupelo in the Dome as they played the last two matches over there while this construction was going on, they had chosen the libero to be Shuttles, Lily Shuttles, but now they've made the move for Dylan Miller to be in that role. As Mulrooney sends it across.
And that's how it's been all season. And, you know, might have been some struggles here and there. That is a new role this year for Lily Shuttles. She's been pretty stellar in all the home matches. And, you know, I think she's still in. You know, she still started. So I think it's just a changing things up a little bit.
Mulrooney again trying to keep the scoring run going for Tupelo. They'll set it up. Miller plays it. Simmons trying to get a good swing, and she'll end up with the kill after it was tipped at the net.
That was a really good set by Sophie Mulrooney there. It had just like a lot of life on it, a lot of like really good arc. You know, it seemed like she really, the good set has that soft touch, and it was timed up really well.
Tupelo doing a great job keeping the ball alive. There's Kat Long, her first hit in this game. They'll set it Hopkins. Simmons again.
Dylan Miller getting some early work here, diving around the court as the libero.
A hit and the kill for Madison, and they've unloaded well on this Tuesday. 7-5, and they'll have the serve, as this will be Anna Hinman, 5'5" senior for the Jags. And a service error gets Tupelo within a point, 7-6.
You'll take that play any day.
And Lily Shuttles back to send it across for the Lady Wave as we welcome you into our broadcast coverage. Glad to have you with us. Dylan Hutton alongside Wes Schrickle. Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday, and Lady Wave trying to notch their 5th win in division play. It's a very tough Madison team that only has one loss this year. A big swing and the kill there for Fairburn.
So far things have been pretty even. I think Madison Central looks a little more relaxed.
McLean Fairburn with the big swing. She's been impressive early, Wes.
Yeah, she has. But you know, this is if you can stick with Madison Central, you know, again first place in the division, then you know you can play with anybody, and this team might need to remember that they can play with anybody.
Carter there to kill it right at the net, but Madison keeps it alive, and that's what good teams do. And the hit across won't stay in from Williams, and the point goes to the Lady Wave.
It's good instincts there by Gracie Hopkins to let that one go. When there's a ball flying by you, even when it's out, you know, there's just this instinct within you just to reach out the hand and put something on it.
Kinsley Carter gets set for the Lady Wave. Again, just getting started in set one, presented by Barnes Crossing Volkswagen. Tipped at the net, a double block by Judon and Long, but it goes over the top of them and lands for a point. 9-7, Madison Central.
And there was, I believe that was Kinsey Williams there with that kill. Effective from the service line and from the hit.
Dixon with the service error, and West's Tupelo team had played so well in their home division matches, but as we said, going on the road can be tough, and they played really well against Starkville, really overpowered Starkville at home, but then lost to them a couple of weeks later. It was a tough loss for them, especially whenever you look at the grand scheme of how well they had played against the Germantowns of the world.
It was a very sloppy looking set there from the Madison Central setter, but didn't get a call. Two hands, maybe. Yeah, it's hard to say, like, you know, being on the road, it's just such a different vibe, having to travel. You don't have the fans with you. Officiating feels like it might go against you a little bit here and there. It's easy to get in your head.
Big hit and kill for Hopkins. That's one thing, even behind that 10-foot line, she can score, and she did that time. Yeah, Tupelo 10-3-1 at home, 7-9 on the road. So the difference a bit jarring as there's an ace for Gracie Hopkins. One thing that helps, and you got Hopkins back there serving, a lot different than the first time up when she started the match with a service error.
Volleyball is such a game of momentum swings, and I just think it's a lot easier to have momentum on your side when you're at home.
Yeah, they had a stretch from the 17th of August to the 27th where they went 8-0-1. And it's quite a run for them, and things, as I said, have cooled off of late. They've lost 6 of the last 8. But that can all be fixed here.
And you might be able to blame a little bit of that on scheduling. You'd like to maybe see a schedule that's a little more balanced with home and away.
That's right. There's been some really long road trips within this schedule and some homestands that have been weeks long.
I mean, if you asked any team, probably at any level, they would say being able to come home for a stint.
Not be on the road for a Tuesday and a Thursday.
Yeah, it just helps.
Madison doing a great job just getting it across, and Tupelo is out of position. 13-10 Lady Jags. Here's where Tupelo's got to bear down. Can't let this thing get further out of hand in set one. Just 3-point difference, but Madison can run away with it. They've shown that they've got the talent.
Well, I was honestly really worried there with Kinsey Williams coming back up to serve, but fortunately she hit it out on her first attempt.
Tried to angle it toward that sideline and was well out.
Whatever she was doing the first time where she had that really good downward spin and where the ball just kind of died, we're having a really hard time returning that.
Miller with the serve, libero tonight. Big swing angled toward the corner, and it's a kill for the Jags. That's Caroline McIntyre. Angled the hit and got the kill.
Yeah, there's a lot of height on this front row. 5'11", 5'9", 5'10", and we've seen several of them lay down really effective hits.
Miller plays the serve. And Zimmerman off balance hit, but gets it across. Back corner kill, and that's Fairburn again. And she's been the big hitter of the night so far for the Lady Jags, and they've done a fantastic job in set one setting her up.
Yeah.
There hasn't been that early match rust from the Jags.
No, they've seemed very loose and ready to play.
It'll be the 4th hit for Tupelo and the point to Madison Central. And it's not an easy trip up here from Jackson, a 3-hour trip. timeout called on the court, and we'll take one with them. This is Tupelo Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. For over 40 years, McCarty Architects has provided professional design in education, healthcare, and senior living markets. McCarty takes pride in developing projects with innovative solutions that provide lasting value and contribute to the success of their clients. Visit them online at McCartyArchitects.com. Welcome back to the Golden Wave Sports Network as Tupelo trails Madison Central 16-11. We have a timeout called by Coach Booth. And Wes, what do you think she could be discussing early in this match, trailing by 5?
Well, I mean, really, you're kind of like at your first kind of make or break point here in the match. So if you're gonna get back into it, I mean, not down by much, but if you're gonna get back into it, you really kind of got to do it now. So I think just kind of calming things down, getting back to what you need to be doing. You
get into 17, 18-11, it's going to be a tough hill to climb, but Simmons ends up with a kill off the tip.
You know, some timeouts are strategy, some timeouts are just momentum killers, you know, and that's what you're really kind of trying to do is ice the other team a little bit.
Mulrooney will send it across for the Lady Wave, and that one just out by a hair. Again, a big week here at Tupelo High School. We have the community tailgate on Friday. You can start setting up in the practice field out behind Renaissance Stadium at 12 o'clock on Friday, and then the tailgating festivities will begin right at 5. So be sure to check out the rules on that on our Tupelo Athletics Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages, as you can see all the things that are prohibited and what is allowed for Fridays, and it's always a big event, so I hope you can get out there and go ahead and get your ticket for the match. Another big hit that time, but Fairburn with a mistake. As again, we're expecting a good crowd Friday for the Oxford matchup. Oxford 1-2, Tupelo 3-0 entering it, and it is an all 7A battle between those rivals. And Tupelo's gotten a couple of points, Wes, out of the timeout. It's just what Coach Booth wanted.
Yeah, we've had a service error, kind of slowed things down a little bit, but just a mistake there.
Yeah, Cat Long just mistimed that hit. Again, just getting started in set number 1 at Tupelo High School. The Lady Wave trailing by 4 to Madison Central. Gracie Hopkins. Great play by the libero Norris. Shettles angles it out. Make it 19 for the Jags.
Right now it's just the little mistakes. I mean, angle is a little weird there. Lily accidentally hits it out.
Diving effort, but an ace.
And then you can't really control that. Luck on the side of Madison Central there, but we're doing just the little things wrong, and I wonder, you know, if that's rust or what. But we do often, I think, kind of come out in the first set a little slow sometimes.
Great decision that time not to play the ball for Madison Central, and the point will go to the Jags. Tips the net. Hopkins plays it. She wants to take a swing at it. Big hit, back corner, and the kill for Hopkins.
Well, Gracie can hit. As long as she can hit around the block, she's going to have a lot of kills.
Right at the net, Judon kept it alive. And Mulrooney, a free ball across. Softly over the net from Martin for the point.
That was a really good, you know, I'm not a fan of tipping and setting the ball over before the third hit. You know, I like a good, powerful hit, but the setter did a really good job kind of waiting to really show her hands there, and it was very deceptive.
Big angled kill, tight at the net. It got tipped by Tupelo.
You just notice besides some service errors, Madison Central's just played really clean. There's not been many mistakes.
And Tupelo sending a lot of free balls over, whereas Madison has had those free hits. Another one, a miscommunication on the set. 24-15 as Madison Central has rolled in set one. Trying to finish it off here. Dixon across. Judon again, but is denied by the 5'10 Fulcher. Trying to fight back are the Lady Wave.
Somebody is in the net there. Called.
And that one doesn't clear the net. Point Tupelo.
Maybe it's just been a month of not seeing, but Sophie Mulrooney's sets look really good to me tonight. Like there's just like a agility and like an athleticism to it. I don't know if she's doing something a little different or maybe it's just been a while, but she's doing a really good job tonight.
Mamie Shettles with the serve, and that service error will give Madison Central a victory in set number one, 25-16. It was all Jags. Tupelo will try to bounce back in the second set coming up, presented by Hodges Orthodontics. Tupelo Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. For over 40 years, McCarty Architects has provided professional design in education, healthcare, and senior living markets. McCarty takes pride in developing projects with innovative solutions that provide lasting value and contribute to the success of their clients. Visit them online at mccartyarchitects.com.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home.
Dr. Carl Bevering has been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner.
The Barnes Crossing Automotive Group is a proud sponsor of Tupelo High School athletics, and we are committed to giving back to the community. The Barnes Crossing Auto Group will always give you the best price at any of our 7 Northeast Mississippi locations. You'll be sure to score with over 2,000 new or pre-owned vehicles in stock. That's over $50 million worth of inventory, and credit is never a deal breaker. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. Where nobody walks away. Because everybody saves. It's Tupelo.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. We're through one set, and it was all Madison Central in set one, was 25-16, and that's one of the reasons why they've only got one division loss. They've played well at home and on the road and seemed very dialed in right from the jump here on this Tuesday afternoon.
And I think that particular set, it was definitely about Madison Central playing well, but I think it was more about us not playing well. I mean, I know we can play a lot better than that. They all know that we can play a lot better than that. And we've seen slow starts before. That doesn't mean we're out of it. Remember that Tishomingo County game when we were –
Very true.
We had an epic comeback in that one. Hope it doesn't get that extreme, but you really got to win this one.
Madison's been on a roll. They've won 6 straight. Their last loss August 22nd at home against Germantown. Big swing, and Shettles plays it. There's Hopkins right at the net. The block won't stay for Madison, and the point for the Lady Wave. Great job there by Hopkins.
Yeah, I don't think Gracie's missed tonight hitting. Every time she has been given a set, she's scored.
There's Shettles with the serve. That one hits the rafter. And Madison did a great job keeping that alive. But yeah, Shettles kept it alive for the Lady Jags. And this time they won't return the favor.
Yeah, Lily knows she did wrong there. She made a face as soon as she pass that ball. And part of that is just playing a new position. You know, she's so used to being the libero and kind of right there in the middle of the defense, and to be kind of more on that left side, she's not used to playing those angles as much.
Yeah, that was a sharper angle, and a team that hasn't played at home in a while, the Lady Wave. They played the Tupelo tournament this weekend, but prior to that, it had been a while since the last time we saw them. It had been since the 27th of August. They went to Foley, Alabama, went to Madison. That was a 5-set match. Starkville was also a 5-set loss for them. Returned to Germantown after beating them the first time and lost 3-1, which nothing to shake your head about there because it is a solid team. And there you go. There's Garth at the net.
So we're doing everything that we know we can do. We didn't really call Lauren Zimmerman's name very often in the first set, but got Gracie going, got her going, doing a really good job of doing everything you know you can do.
And with a minute timeout, we'll take a break as well. This is Lady Wave Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Dr. Carl Bevering has been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner. Welcome back to Lady Wave Volleyball, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Dylan Hutton alongside Wes Trickle. Zach Zimmerman producing tonight's game. Zach broadcasts the JV matchup. 4-0 Lady Wave, and Madison calling the timeout early. And Wes, that's very early to call a timeout, but can't get behind too much even early in a set.
Yeah, I don't think Coach wants us to start feeling very good about ourselves, honestly, which is wise. And
set one, Tupelo certainly didn't. They lost the set 25-16, and there's a momentum swing for Madison Central. Big set and kill that time.
Yeah, it was almost like you swapped teams, honestly, the way this set started. And so I think that's why you get that timeout from Madison Central.
Point again for the Lady Wave. 4 hits. And it's Hopkins back there for Tupelo as she sends it across. 5-1, Lady Wave out in front. The swing into the net. 6-1.
Well, they like McLean Fairburn so well that they're setting her in the back row. I mean, that might be a little bit of a show of Madison Central trying to do something to steady the ship early here.
Bit long that time. And it's 7-1 Lady Wave, so the timeout hadn't helped much. It got them 1 point, but Tupelo has scored 3 to the 1 for Madison.
The momentum swings in volleyball are just really incredible. Just how you can look so incompetent in one set and then look incredible, and then the other team looks so incompetent.
Yeah. You get whiplash trying to figure out who has the momentum at times.
Madison Central can't do anything right now.
8-1, and a lot of it could be rotation based at that as well. And another attempt there for Tupelo, couldn't run that one down. It's 8-2 as Madison gets a point back, but you get into a rotation where people are not at their strengths because it's bound to happen at times.
I tell you, Morgan Marlin, the setter for Madison Central, her set, on really like kind of the second hit, the second pass, she'll, again, I said I hate when most setters do that, just set someone. But man, it is so deceptive when she does it. She does it so fast, and she doesn't show her hands until the last second. You don't know she's going to do it, and it really catches the defense off guard.
Dylan Miller, the libero, with the serve. There's a big swing. And Hopkins attacking the back row and gets the kill. Look at this swing for Hopkins, just angling it down just in front of that back line.
Yeah, Gracie doing a good job there. We know she can attack front row, back row.
And this is just what the doctor ordered. for Tupelo. Right on top of the net as the net played that one, the tape, and the kill as that ball bounced up by Fulcher. You know, I said just what the doctor ordered. We are sponsored by Dr. Carl Bevering. You could tie that in. Missed opportunity, but odd sequence there with the ball hitting right on top of the tape.
Yeah, well, I was sure it was going to hit the out of bounds marker there, and it didn't. So, way to keep playing it. Unfortunately, got blocked.
Got to keep playing. There's Hopkins trying to angle it. Now a whistle, and the point, 4 hits. They couldn't get it across. They said that Madison did not touch it. The net did, and it's 10-4. Madison trying to rally a little bit. Now's the time to do it.
You don't see Lauren Zimmerman get blocked very often.
True.
You do have 5'10" on the other side.
Tupelo with the point, 11-4.
I don't know that I've seen another team with this much consistent size as Madison Central. 5'10", 5'10", 5'9", 5'9". It's a lot of tall girls to throw in the front row.
Just an idea of how dominant they've been. Of their 13 wins, 11 of them have been sweeps. So it's a team that when they're on, they're on. Great play by Sarah Foster-Brown. Swing. Hopkins make that Mulrooney. Couldn't handle it.
Well, you see every time Fairburn is in the front row, that's who they're going to. I think Madison Central does have a pretty good diversity of hitters, but if Fairburn's available, they're going to her every time. And you saw Gracie Hopkins there. Without a good block, it's really hard to return one of Fairburn's swings.
11-5. Madison going on a bit of a run. Trailed 4-0, called a timeout. Then trailed 7-2. Just trying to find some points. Just the amount of swings that they're still getting off, though, that's going to help them late in this. There's that short set. They like to do that for Carter. It doesn't work out there. Madison was ready for it as they had set up the block, and it's like Dixon was there at the net.
Yeah, and that's another thing I'll say. You don't see Kinsley Carter block very often either. But, again, right now you have 2 very tall blockers in the front row for Madison Central. See that
Simmons.
Coordinated double block that 26-2 just did.
Simmons just got it past that double block, and the hit out that time, 12-6.
It's all about angles, you know, and if you got that double block up and it's well coordinated, well timed, you're going to hit into it every time with that kind of height.
Lily Shuttles back to serve it. Tupelo gave a bit of ground back to Madison, but still comfortably ahead, 12-6. Hopkins set up far side. Madison just does a great job keeping things alive, but too far that time from Fairburn.
Yeah, they're settling down a little bit, not playing quite as sloppy as they did to begin with, so hopefully we can continue to play well as well.
Serve, receive, handled that time. Sarah Foster-Brown. 10-foot row attack by Williams. And Tupelo ends up with the point. 14-6.
I'm a stickler for the rules. And that was close, that little attack that 6 had there for Madison Central. I'm always looking for the carry and the lift and everything I can.
And with that timeout, we'll take a break with you. Tupelo leads 14-6. This is Lady Wave Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Dr. Carl Bevering has been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner.
The Barnes Crossing Automotive Group is a proud sponsor of Tupelo High School Athletics, and we are committed to giving back to the community. The Barnes Crossing Auto Group will always give you the best price at any of our 7 Northeast Mississippi locations. You'll be sure to score with over 2,000 new or pre-owned vehicles in stock. That's over $50 million worth of inventory, and credit is never a deal breaker. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. where nobody walks away. Because everybody saves. It's Tupelo.
Back at it in set 2. Big set and a fantastic swing. And the point for Madison, that was Dixon. It's 14-7. Tupelo up by a touchdown in set 2 after losing set 1 25-16, trying to even up this match. Hopkins angled hit. Seems like right now the best swings are coming from number 26 as Tupelo ends up with the point there, and Carter will go back to serve.
Well, the good thing about Gracie is, and I would say Lauren Zimmerman as well, is they're both very consistent. And that's really something you need in a hitter. You don't always need the big hits. Some of our other hitters can do maybe a little bigger, crazier hits, but to be consistent is so important.
Off balance swing and a mistake there for Kinsley Williams. Kinsley Carter doing a great job serving tonight, as it can't be played by Mulrooney in the point to Madison. They just cannot make up enough ground. Tupelo's done a great job early of just continuing to extend. Every time Madison gets a point, they get 2 or 3 in response.
Yeah, and you really got to hope to hold them off here.
You feel a run coming.
Yeah, they weren't going to play as bad as they were to start this set for very long.
There's the block. Williams and Dixon there. Check that. Fulcher there. And you are right, the height, it's not just one player to affect. There's 3 or 4 that can get up above the net.
Well, they've always got almost 6-foot-tall person up there every time.
There's a double hit, and Tupelo ends up with the point. 17-9 as the Lady Wave trying to end this skid in division play. Coming in 17-12, while Madison is 13-4. Pretty even season for them. They're 6-2 at home, 5-2 on the road. They're just winning everywhere they go. 18-9 Lady Wave as Mamie Shettles, one of the senior captains, along with Gracie Hopkins, will send it over, and it's a service error. 18-10.
Sometimes even you just want it so bad, you maybe try a little too hard. You know, you're like, I'm going to put a little extra something on this serve.
And we talk about that risk versus reward, just getting it over the net or trying to get an ace, and especially situationally, depending on what kind of player you are as well. Gracie Hopkins trying again from the corner to the back row, and that time a bit long for Gracie.
Yeah, it's a rare mistake. Just didn't quite get on top of that ball well enough.
Again, this second set brought to you by Hodges Orthodontics. There's Zimmerman from the 10-foot line. Just haven't had a lot of good sets right at the net. Hopkins coming from well beyond the 10-foot line anytime she's hitting.
There's a good pass, but
you know, to those front row hitters that we're so used to mentioning, it's been a rather quiet night to this point.
Yeah, and there really hasn't been too many attempts to try to get something from middle hitter.
Blocked off and out of bounds, so Tupelo ends up with the point as Hopkins will head back to serve at 19-11. But a lot of that is just the height up front, too. You can't just match that right away. You got to figure out how you're going to get it around the block.
Yeah, you can't just unconsciously hit the ball. You have to feel the block, hit around it. It's weird. It's almost like you sense it in your peripheral vision where the block is and then angle around it.
Free ball. It's going to be a double hit. Late call on the double hit, but it was the right call, 19-12.
And that's where you just kind of coach Garth. Unless it's right up there at the net for you to serve or to tap it straight down, you can let that one go because your back row is going to have a better chance of passing it.
Simmons with the kill. Another one that was affected by that front row, and it just seems like every point tough to get against Madison, even here up 8 in this set. They're playing a lot better as this set has went on, Wes. As you said, good teams aren't going to give up on any chance at a point. Tipped right there by Carter. And that's what you like to see, just punching it back across whenever it's up there for free.
Well, but 22 does such a good job. You have just for Kinsley Carter to know that's coming was really huge.
Miller, the libero, plays it and goes softly. Second hit shuttles. The libero there for it. Tipped up. Tupelo had some help diving in late, but it was Shettles unable to get there. 20-13. Lady Wave out in front of Madison Central. Just the one division loss for them this year. Tupelo would like to give them a second. Last time they met, it went 5 sets. There's Hopkins, back row, but it's beyond it.
Yeah, so here's comes the run for Madison Central right here. This is going to be it. So if you can stop this run right here, not let it accumulate, then you win this set.
Served by the libero Norris. There's Simmons palming it across. Madison fighting to keep this match alive. Carter angles it out, and it's 20-15. And you are right, Wes, if they start getting in rhythm here with the serve, watch out.
Boy, I hate we didn't score right there because Kinsley Carter finally got a pretty good look. They didn't get a really good solid hit. We got a good pass, good set, and she just hit it out. There you go.
Just in for the kill.
It was like you were saying earlier, Dylan, when your setter's having to go all the way out to the 10-foot line to set, it means your passes aren't really going right where you want them to. You don't really want your setter to move. You want them to be in that kind of tip-off circle there in the middle of the basketball court.
It's what you like to see from Zimmerman.
And just not move.
On that kill, and Tupelo end up with another point. That'll get them to 22-15.
But if you're not able to get those passes where your center can stay on the net and not have to move much, you're eliminating your middle hitting almost completely. And we know what Kinsley Carter can do when she's got time and she's got a good set.
Touch deep that time. And the serve will go back over to the Jags. As I noted, the Tupelo SportsCom class. We have students broadcasting events this year, and we also have non-live content on YouTube. We've got a college football preview and pick'em show that we started last week. Be sure to go check that out at Tupelo SportsCom. And we got a new episode coming up on Friday, so be sure to tune in for that as they'll preview the matchups in college football for Saturday. As another big Saturday on the way, but excited to see what some of the picks are on that front. Tupelo giving up the point. Now Madison will give it right back. Service error by Carolyn McIntyre. Our next match here at home will be against Murrah on October 1st. So it'll be another stretch for the Lady Wave. They'll go to Murrah after this on the 23rd, then the 24th at Regents in Oxford before finishing up the year with senior night against Murrah, and then Alcorn Central, the pink out game on Thursday, the 3rd of October. So season division-wise here at home is done after this match. It's hard to believe, Wes, such a odd schedule as we have talked about. So many home matches in a row as Marooney can't clear the net. It's 23-19 now.
Man, you just don't want them to hang around. Not that far behind.
Check that, 18 is the score. Carter can't clear it, and some mistakes for Tupelo, and Coach Booth wanting timeout. She knows how important getting the next point is. You have got to get on the door of winning this set, and Tupelo right now just seems like they can't get that 24th point no matter how close it is to being theirs.
I don't mean to, laugh or anything right now, but just seeing Coach had a few things to say to Sophie Mulrooney there. Just being the setter, being kind of the quarterback, and that the set was not good on that last set piece. She's getting kind of an earful of the coach's frustration, but you got to close this one out. Should be able to do it.
Yeah, plenty of space has been created, but Tupelo continue to give it up, and the Madison certainly is not giving up to this point as we're in set number 2 on this Tuesday night in Tupelo, and Mulrooney will set it up for Hopkins. That's a good set. She'll go soft across. Hopkins resets and gets the kill.
That's where you go to old trusty Gracie Hopkins there when you need the point.
24-19, and Tupelo a point away from tying this match at 1 set apiece. Kinsley Carter serves. That's a great serve,
really
and that's
good serve.
an ace brought to you by McCarty Architects, and that will send us into the 3rd set all square. Take a look at the point.
Good time for her maybe best serve of the year right there.
So a great job for Carter, who we've seen build more serves throughout the year.
We love seeing the front row people being able to play in the back row a little bit too.
Definitely helps with the rotations as well.
It does.
So 25-19, the Lady Wave takes set number 2. We'll be back for set 3, which will be presented by Barnes Crossing Volkswagen. Don't go anywhere. 17-12 Tupelo against a Madison team that's 13-4 and has won 6 straight. We'll be right back. This is Tupelo Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Dr. Carl Bevering has been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner.
The Barnes Crossing Automotive Group is a proud sponsor of Tupelo High School athletics, and we are committed to giving back to the community. The Barnes Crossing Auto Group will always give you the best price at any of our 7 Northeast Mississippi locations. You'll be sure to score with over 2,000 new or pre-owned vehicles in stock. That's over $50 million worth of inventory, and credit is never a deal breaker. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. Where nobody walks away. Because everybody saves. It's Tupelo.
Welcome back to the Golden Wave Sports Network. Dylan Hutton alongside Wes Schrickle. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday night. Again, our broadcast coverage presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner. Our broadcast booth is presented by Barnes Crossing Hyundai. Discover your next new or used ride at Barnes Crossing Hyundai on North Gloucester. And we've not had a lot of these, but we just had the match end, or the set end, on a McCarty Architects ace from Kinsley Carter. And as you said, the front row coming through to clinch that set, and it wasn't easy by any means, despite the large lead Tupelo enjoyed early.
Yeah.
They held on 25-19.
We mostly won that set because Madison Central came out horribly. I think what you saw, first set, we came out terribly. Second set, Madison Central came out terribly. Here, we got to expect both teams are going to play pretty good. And
yeah.
I think it'll be pretty close.
Yeah, and as we said, previous matchup between these teams, Tupelo lost 3-2 back on the 29th of August. So we'll reset the score and get back to it. 1-1 in this match. There's a big swing from Zimmerman, but it's played well by Madison.
Very well played. That dig was a great pass.
Right now, Zimmerman hitting it with a little extra juice here.
Lauren's smoking it twice, and they've been able to return both. There's nothing you can do about that.
Third time may be the charm, but Madison again keeps the ball alive. And that time in a gap, well-placed hit. That time for the Lady Jags. That time 14, McIntyre with the kill.
Hey, if that back and forth, that volley there is what we're going to see in this third set, watch out. You got to just tip your hat to Madison Central there for Tupelo. They did everything right.
1-0 Madison after a hard-earned first point. Could be a theme. And it can get frustrating if you're a big hitter on the front and nothing's hitting the floor for you. Zimmerman's going to keep swinging and get the point. Big hit that time. And finally one gets to the ground for Lauren Zimmerman. Just perfect over that double block.
Well, and she shows you that's just what you do. You just keep hitting. She's not getting blocked. No, they're just because they're passing your hits, you know, that's okay. Just keep going. Eventually they're not going to be able to.
Gracie Hopkins with the serve. Another nice set and the kill for the Lady Jags. And they're getting in rhythm with McIntyre. With the height that they have, Wes, if they can get a couple of their players on the front row in rhythm, you can see how they can make quick work of their opponents.
Yeah, well, they haven't done much middle hitting, but I mean, if they can get that middle hit down, that's going to be really tough to return.
Kennedy Simmons playing that one. And right at the net, tipped down. That's too easy for Fairburn. Just putting it right back down to the floor. And it's 3-1 Madison. It just seems like whoever can get off to the better start to this point has been able to take control in each set. Madison to start, and now Tupelo in set 2, but set 3 flipping back in favor of the Jags as that serve will go into the net. And Tupelo will get the ball back. Trailing 3-2, and Dylan Miller, the libero, will send it across. Try that outside swing. Well played off the hit of Fairburn. But the story in this set is not Fairburn, it's McIntyre. And if you can really have that on each side, the way they're set up in this order, makes it tough.
Well, they do, and they just subbed one 5'10" player out for another. So, you know, they're going to have consistent hitting and blocking. We got to do a better job of contesting these swings because we're not getting a very solid block up right now. They can't just be able to get a good set and just kind of bombs away on your back row. Your back row has no chance if that's the way it's going to be.
Not a clear angle of attack as Zimmerman that time into the net. Rare mistake for her. And it's 5-3 after the service error. So Tupelo back to send it across as Sarah Foster Brown will enter for shuttles, and Zimmerman will sit as Mulrooney comes in to serve it.
You know, really, Madison Central service errors have killed them from this really being 6-7-1 right now.
Had a really cool pregame honor ceremony as it was Think a Teacher night at Tupelo High School. So each player picked their favorite teacher to gain some recognition.
That was really cool.
Tupelo volleyball has done that for several years. Really a cool thing, and get some of these teachers out here to create a atmosphere as well. Carter ends up with the point after it was handled for Madison, but
sprained ankle there, 21.
Yeah, Norris went down awkwardly. She may be all right. Definitely got tied up on her way to try to play that ball. 5-5, Tupelo has tied it up, but Norris is going to try to tough it out and stay out on the floor, but that's tough when your libero is dealing with a foot injury.
It's always hard to tell when you tweak your ankle, like how bad is this? Because the pain is so immense every time, but then you can walk it off sometimes and sometimes you can't.
Simmons, that set almost too high, and she mistimed her jump. 6-5 as it goes into the net, still in favor of Madison Central, but Tupelo's done a great job of storming back.
Yeah, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to have a chance here. And I don't think the margin is so thin here. If we make many mistakes and compound that, we're not going to have a chance.
So Tupelo will get the ball back, and the serve will go to Shettles. You are right. We've got to mount some sort of defense on that front row, which we have not been able to do. As much as Madison has lived with making contact there, Hopkins will end up with the point. Odd to see, like Gracie affecting something right at the net, but she's able to do it.
Just jump up there as high as you can. Put your hands together. Might get something.
7-6, Tupelo out in front. Another one, that time Tupelo affected it, but the point will come down for Madison. 7-7.
And that's when you think about little errors over the set of over the course of a set. You know, how many service errors do you have? I mean, that's potentially 3, 4, 5 points for the other team. That's huge.
Seven. There we go. That's what Wes likes to see, a double block setup. I think Carter got the majority of it. Yeah. Let's take a look at it, and it was Kinsley Carter, but Sarah Foster Brown was there beside her. And that can start to get in Madison Central's head a little bit as well.
Yeah, you got to put a good, solid block up so they know you're there. and it really is coordinated between the two blockers. You really kind of want to get shoulder to shoulder.
Right down the line, Sarah Foster Brown.
You really want to get shoulder to shoulder, almost kind of hip to hip, and go up together at the same time. And that way you really extend the surface area of your block. Sarah Foster Brown there with a huge kill.
9-7, Lady Wave. Trying to end this division losing skid. Hopkins back row a bit deep.
I like what she was trying to do there, but that pass was not your normal kind of setup for a hit.
Which that's her bread and butter play from that 10-foot line. Just on the line. How about that one?
Hey, we need a little home cooking. That's okay. That's close.
It was Lily Shettles from well beyond. That was about 15 feet.
That would have needed like
a
NFL grade replay to be able to tell if that was in or out. Not that we don't have that capability.
We may be able to do it. Give us a year. Shettles, Mamie Shettles across. Right at the net. I'm not even sure it cleared the net, but Madison cleared the net because they made contact with it. And so Tupelo will end up with a point on a very bad pass forward, I should say.
We got lucky there, although, as we have noted many times in volleyball, the arguments sometimes can sway. But really, you got to coach up Garth there, or Zimmerman, whoever it was. Somebody's got to contest that. You can't just let them drop it on you like that. Go up and try to face them up there at the net. Again, there you go.
Judon affecting it, and we know that she can jump. Actually, that's KB Garth.
Yeah, don't just watch the ball kind of go right at the net. You get up there, you got to be up there with the ball when it's at the net. I don't know if we've seen 12 yet tonight. Leighton Thomas checking in for Madison Central.
So far, Norris is still in. Again, the libero for Madison went down awkwardly. Lower body, foot, ankle area. But she seems to be moving fairly well at the moment. Big swing and a kill for Madison Central. That was Fairburn from further beyond the line than we're used to seeing her.
Yeah, when Madison Central kind of has a lull, they will set Fairburn in the back row. She's their best hitter. So they're kind of like with Gracie or Lauren with us. They need something. They like to go to her.
Another good swing, but McIntyre can't calibrate it. And after a hot start to this set, Madison has cooled off, and Tupelo is on a bit of a run after the end of set one, which they lost 25-16. They defeated Madison 25-19 in set two and are trying to hold on to a 13-9 advantage in set three. Simmons tips off the net. It's almost like the tape it helped it get over the block. Yeah. It ricocheted.
And if you can use the net to your advantage, you can't predictably do it. But on a serve or on a hit, it just messes up everybody. It's kind of like when a punt returner kind of bobbles the ball for a second and it kind of gets the defense messed up and they actually go on a good return.
It's an ace by McCarty Architects. And Gracie Hopkins, we've said that several times over the last couple of seasons. Goes soft, Hopkins plays it, now Shettles. Simmons, who's starting to heat up.
We might have got a fair call right there.
A back set, Zimmerman is blocked. She tried to play it, but can't do it all up there. Tried to receive that block.
Just saying, I don't know if Simmons actually got the ball over the net. I think maybe the net blocked her. But that's what you do, you play on.
15-10. There's Simmons, hits it toward that back row. Madison trying to find some momentum. They go softly that time with Fairburn. There's Zimmerman blocked, but it's out off of Fairburn. 16-10.
If you're having a hard time hitting around the block, if you can angle it like that, they deflected out of bounds. It's hard to do, but it can be done.
Dylan Miller back to serve. 16-10. It's that moment in the match, and there's Fairburn flying in for the kill.
Really impressed with the setter and just the complete offense really for Madison Central. Notice that wasn't your typical outside set right there. She really shot that out faster than we're used to. We had a really hard time getting set up. We didn't really have a block.
You see Tupelo too is going and having some more back sets in this third set just to try to mix it up. But right now it's Fairburn who's heating up in the middle of set 3. So waiting to figure out some stuff over at the table.
Not really sure.
Something maybe about a rotation. 16-12, Tupelo out in front in set 3, which is presented by Barnes Crossing Volkswagen. Again, our broadcast coverage on the Golden Wave Sports Network is presented by Dr. Carl Bevering, our title sponsor, and then also Barnes Crossing Hyundai, McCarty Architects, Raising Cane's, Hodges Orthodontics, Super Chicks, and Barnes Crossing Volkswagen. McCarty Architects, for over 40 years, McCarty Architects has provided professional design and education, healthcare, and senior living markets. McCarty takes pride in developing projects with innovative solutions that provide lasting value and contribute to the success of their clients. Visit them online at mccartyarchitects.com. Again, a reminder, community tailgate on Friday here at Tupelo High School on the practice field. All are welcome. Tailgate tent setup begins at 12 o'clock and goes all the way up until the tailgating begins at 5. And then hopefully after the tailgate ends around 7, you will roll into Renaissance Stadium and get your seat and then get loud for the Wave as they get set to take on Oxford on Friday at 7 o'clock. You can get your tickets online on GoFan. Also linktr.ee/Tupelo Athletics. Got everything ironed out and a block off the big hit from Simmons. We'll get the point for Madison, and things have gotten close in set 3, Wes. Don't look now, but Madison has arrived here in this set.
Well, we kind of knew it would be this way. Tupelo does need to stop the bleeding right now on this particular Madison Central run.
McIntyre, make it Fairburn, has heated up in this set. She was a big reason why Madison won set 1, 25-16. Tupelo answered with a win, 25-19 in set 2, and Zimmerman can't get it across. That set was just so close to the net, she didn't have an angle.
Yeah, unfortunately, libero there just not able to really set up Lauren Zimmerman very well.
Simmons, just not a lot of floor space. I feel like with the length that Madison has to get attempts at kills cleanly. It seems like they touch everything, as we say.
We're really struggling right now with the set hit combination. We're not getting very good, clean sets that are meeting our hitters in stride, like seeing Simmons a minute ago, kind of having, she's in her stride, she has to stop and and then she gets blocked. You know, it's like you're kind of telegraphing everything to the defense.
That time Tupelo was there, but it comes down on Tupelo's side of the net. Had the block, just didn't get it, keep it on Madison's side. Now within 2 are the Jags. There's that short set. That's clean, Wes, right on cue.
Yep. Yeah, we've said it. We said it last year. We've said it this year. I don't know why we can't consistently do that, but we can't when it works. Man, what a thing for the defense to think about.
Certainly a threat, and if you can just do it a couple of times, it changes the way you defend. 18-15, a bad pass forward, and Madison can't do anything.
You see just
with
even the momentum change there. I mean, just having that kind of a hit, immediately Madison stumbles on the next play. So, I mean,
And
really
an
helpful.
ace brought to you by McCarty Architects. That's Shettles, Lily Shettles. 20-15, and Tupelo trying to take control in this match. All square at 1 set apiece. Still discussing. Now we're going to get a timeout called by. They're trying to figure out who has a timeout. And it looks like Madison will call it, trailing Tupelo 20-15. We'll take a quick break. This is Lady Wave Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Dr. Carl Bevering has been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner. And welcome back, set 3. Tupelo leading 20-15. The match overall tied 1 set apiece. Lady Wave trying to get 5 more points across and get into what could be a deciding set 4 for them. Last time these teams met, they went a full 5. Swing and a bit deep, but it's in just by a touch. Tupelo is discussing, trying to say that it was out. Shettles was looking right at it.
Poor line judge has a lot of heat in his back right there.
And he does. The Tupelo boys there, everybody there to give their opinion on the call. But the point goes to Madison. And Hopkins try to get a hit across, but Madison plays it well, and the point on the big swing from Williams. 20-17. Madison will not go down without a fight. We know that.
Yeah, this one, you like to kind of start thinking about the next set, but this one's not over yet. Far from it.
Longer rally, but Mulrooney sends it well out. 20-18.
Sophie's a really good setter, but I think she'd like to have that decision back.
Hopkins from the 10-foot line off the block, and it will be a point for Tupelo. Even that looked tough.
See if Kinsley Carter can get some more of that service magic. Looks like it.
Yeah, Carter with a great serve, and that'll end up getting Tupelo. They'll lose that serve, as wasn't really much Carter did. It was just the way Madison played it off the block. And there, a big point for the Lady Wave. That was great.
That was great. And I haven't seen tips work super often for us, but that's about as good a one as you possibly can. While the block's up in the air, the blockers have no chance of getting to that tip. And if you can see the back lines back far enough, you fit it right in there.
It's Mamie Shettles that time with the serve. There's a short set, but Leighton Thomas couldn't keep it in. First time Madison's really employed a short set, and now they'll call timeout. One thing about it, they don't leave any timeouts in the bag. They're going to use them, and I mean, if you got them, use them. Try to get them with you. Try to get a game plan together. You got to respect that, and just makes it tough on your opponent because you're trying to keep that momentum up, and now there'll be a little doze in momentum.
You hadn't seen too many setting errors, but that just wasn't a good set there for Madison Central to be able to really give the middle hitter much to do with.
Got our district and school grades today from the last school year, and Tupelo Public School District got an A rating, so they're an A rating district for the 3rd consecutive year. So congratulations to all our schools, because it's an all aggregate score. So an A rating for Tupelo Public Schools. The news came out today, so I'm sure we'll have a celebration at some point here. But great job by Dr. Piku and everybody that runs the school district, and everything that goes on from the teachers inside the school and all the administration around a district that services I don't even know the number of kids, over 2,000 alone here at Tupelo High School, so I would hate to put a number, even try to guess a number. 23-20, Tupelo needing 2 points. And the angled hit is out. Didn't get touched by Tupelo at the net. And so now the Lady Wave a point away from taking the advantage to 2-1 in this match.
That was tough. We needed that one.
Here's Hopkins. And just out. She was trying to get one of those McCarty Architect aces to walk it off here in the third set. Instead, we'll go for another point.
And we have their server that we've had the hardest time with, but good pass there.
Great save. But the set will go awry, and Tupelo will take set 3. 25-21. What a run for the Lady Wave. They lost set 1 25-16, have bounced back to win the last 2 sets. We will take a commercial break, and Tupelo a set away from earning what some would deem an upset victory over one of the best teams in the state in volleyball. We'll take a commercial break. This is Tupelo Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Dr. Carl Bevering has been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner.
The Barnes Crossing Automotive Group is a proud sponsor of Tupelo High School athletics, and we are committed to giving back to the community. The Barnes Crossing Auto Group will always give you the best price at any of our 7 Northeast Mississippi locations. You'll be sure to score with over 2,000 new or pre-owned vehicles in stock. That's over $50 million worth of inventory, and credit is never a deal breaker. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. Where nobody walks away. Because everybody saves. It's Tupelo.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Welcome back to the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Dylan Hutton alongside Wes Schrickle, Zach Zimmerman producing tonight's broadcast. The Lady Wave lead the match 2-1 as we move to set 4. And Wes, what a change. Tupelo was dominated really in the first set, 25-16. They've bounced back, 25-19 win in set 2, and then 25-21 in set number 3. But one thing about Madison that we've seen through even the 2 sets that they were down big at times is they're going to use their timeouts, they're going to battle. And this is a team, as we said, that's only suffered 1 loss this year, and Tupelo still has a lot of work to do in set 4 if they're going to get out of here without seeing a set 5.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. I don't think you're going to easily beat Madison Central in any of these sets, but I think the way we performed last set was a lot more impressive than the second set. The second set, Madison Central came out so flat. They really kind of gave us everything they had this last set. And, you know, that's what I'm saying. We can play with anybody. If we're playing right and not making too many mistakes, we can play with anybody in the state, and we're showing that tonight. But consistency, putting sets together back to back to back, putting games together back to back, performing on the road, you know, it's all connected.
Tupelo played last against Ingomar and was swept last night, I should say, and was swept. But that is a very talented Ingomar team. But tonight, totally different evening against the Jags. Up 2-1 in the match, and if they win this set, it's over. And they would send Madison back home with just their second loss in division play and really get themselves in a spot where it's not quite over, because Madison has to play Germantown on Thursday, and they still have some games left in division play.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, just you win tonight with the kind of difficulty that we've been having as a team of late, you just get your confidence back.
Set and a block. There you go. You hadn't seen that very often tonight, but they deny McIntyre, who's had a big evening. That'll get you started if you're the Lady Wave.
Great start. One of the best feelings in the world.
1-0, but it seemed a lot bigger with the way that point was gained. Haven't been able to get many blocks to the ground. And there's a point and a kill for Madison Central, 1-1 in set 4.
It's kind of interesting. There wasn't really anything special about that one. They just had we just weren't there. I mean, just defense was really deep.
Just found a spot. And another swing and a point, an ace there for Madison Central.
Happens to everybody. Just kind of misjudged the trajectory of the ball.
Shettles plays the serve from Dixon. Check that, Martin, 22. Miller plays it, Shettles. There's Judon. We haven't seen a lot of Trinity this afternoon. And another big swing and a kill for Kinsey Williams.
Surprised they didn't get a call for reaching over on Judon there. She almost reached over and blocked the set. When you do that, usually get a call, but I think because she didn't touch the ball, the ref didn't call it.
So 3-1, 3-0 run, and now 4-0. Is that swing a bit deep for the Lady Wave?
I wouldn't let this get too far if I was Coach Booth without calling a timeout.
Because you certainly don't want to send this into a 5th set with the team that has been on the ropes the last 2.
Yeah, you prefer not to. Anything can happen when you're only going to 15.
Those short runs seem a bit longer in that race to 15, as we know. Important point here. Goes softly, Shettles comes sliding in. There's Hopkins, back row. Right now Madison looks a little bit more crisp. Tupelo again there to deny. That set pretty tight to the net, but somehow Hopkins makes that hard to deal with.
Yeah, she did a really good job with that. That was a really tough angle.
Judon, they did a short set to her, and she jumped a little early, but the soft hit surprised Madison Central, and that'll break up that 4-0 run that they were on. Sometimes it's not always about how clean it is, it's just getting it over the net, as we know.
Yeah, and just, you know, keep going. Just keep going and keep going, and eventually something good will happen. Somebody's going to make a mistake.
Madison really settling in on that front row. There's Fulcher.
You've won 2 sets in a row. Typically with a seesaw back and forth, you're going to expect Madison Central is going to come out.
And off the block, Tupelo will get the point.
It's almost like if you can withstand this first onslaught, you know, kind of settle in, then you can make this a good set.
Just keep your head above water for a little bit.
Yeah, it's just that human nature of, like, you've won 2 in a row, you know, you kind of come out a little flat. They're going to be, besides right there, they're going to be coming out pretty good.
It looks like one of our cameras just went down, our full court cam, so we will call it as we see it here until we get it back up and running. 5-4, Tupelo trailing. We'll get Zach over there to see if he can figure out what went on. And the point will come down for Madison Central.
Yeah, I think we withstood that first onslaught pretty well. Came out a little flat. You're only down by 2. Feel pretty good about that.
It seems like one of our cameras out of commission, so we will get it all figured out for you as Tupelo trailing just 6-4 in set 4. Swing by Simmons, and she can't get it over the net.
Yeah, it just seemed like her didn't get her whole hand on there. Maybe just fingertips.
7-4. Sent across, played by Hopkins. They'll set it for Carter. Simmons there as Carter mishit it. Tried to get it across, and it didn't work out there for the Lady Wave.
I honestly don't know who that set was to.
Wes, I'm going to step aside for just 1 second.
Sure.
We'll try to fix this camera. You can try to give us some play-by-play here.
A little bit, yeah. Simmons again. Fairburn blocked. She's been pretty consistent tonight, but Fairburn blocked that time.
All right, so we're down to 1 camera at the moment, so bear with us as we get that one all set. I believe we're good with that as Tupelo trailing 8-5. So sorry about those technical issues. We got them ironed out, and there's some technical issues on that kill attempt as Carter stops it right at the net.
Like what you did there, Dylan.
There you go, yeah. Try to make the best out of any situation.
Yeah, I mean, to block on a single block is so impressive. And Kinsley Carter did a great job right there. And we had a little comeback. You know, we kind of had another little lull, but getting back into it.
Carter off the tip and the point for Tupelo.
I didn't know what to do without you there, Dylan, even though it was just a few seconds, it felt like hours.
Oh, no. I'm glad I'm back. 8-7. I think we may have found a good broadcast angle here as well. Again, bear with us as we're down to 1 camera, but Mulrooney will serve it, and Tupelo will end up with an ace. Brought to you by McCarty Architects.
Well, all I can say is if we start to get down a little bit again, maybe we should fiddle with the cameras a little bit more.
That's right. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick commercial break. This is Lady Wave Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Dr. Carl Bevering has been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner.
The Barnes Crossing Automotive Group is a proud sponsor of Tupelo High School athletics, and we are committed to giving back to the community. The Barnes Crossing Auto Group will always give you the best price at any of our 7 Northeast Mississippi locations. You'll be sure to deal breaker. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. Where nobody walks away. Because everybody saves. It's Tupelo.
Welcome back to the Golden Wave Sports Network. Dylan Hutton alongside Wes Schrickle as again, we're trying to get our second camera back up and running as Zach Zimmerman's trying to get on that. 8-8 the score here in set number 4. As Tupelo's trying to earn a victory over Madison Central. They were beaten in 5 sets. There's that short set again to Carter, but Madison handles it this time.
That's surprising, but I don't know how they handled that.
Carter across.
Good reflexes by Simmons. Keep the ball alive.
And a great effort, but Madison Central ends up with the point.
I don't know how they returned that hit, Kennedy Simmons. I was so fixated on the attack and the block, it almost like they gave each other a high five in midair.
Hopkins plays the serve. There's Cat Long with a big hit, but it's played by the libero.
Hadn't seen much Cat Long tonight, but that was a pretty nice swing, which we've seen
Simmons
do plenty of times.
Simmons that time swings it and it goes into the net. And they'll send it back to serve. This will be Kenzie Williams. Miller, and it will end up being an ace as Miller couldn't handle it. It's now 11-8 in favor of Madison Central. Getting some different angles here on today's broadcast. We appreciate Zach for handling all that. And back off and running as it will be a service error for Kenzie Williams.
Yeah, I take the different route, Dylan. I blame Zach for the camera.
Yeah, we can't blame him. He wasn't part of the setup crew.
Okay.
It seems we've forgotten an extension cord today.
Well, there's got to be a scapegoat on every broadcast team, right?
Yeah, that's right. 11-9. And that a kill for 26. That's Fairburn. And as an outside hitter, she has done a fantastic job tonight.
Yeah, she's really great. Definitely the centerpiece of their attack.
12-9. What do you sense if you know Coach Booth, though she does let them play quite a bit? When do you sense a timeout would come if a run were beginning for Madison?
Right about now.
13-9. But
right about now. Surprised she hasn't called it yet.
That's interesting with volleyball, without having a clock. when do you use those timeouts?
Yeah.
It's all about points, and they're set down right at the net, and it seems like that timeout's coming, and we'll take one with her.
Things aren't going good. That's when you take it.
It doesn't really matter what sport, right? We'll be right back. This is Golden Wave Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Dr. Carl Bevering has been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner.
The Barnes Crossing Automotive Group is a proud sponsor of Tupelo High School athletics, and we are committed to giving back to the community. The Barnes Crossing Auto Group will always give you the best price at any of our 7 Northeast Mississippi locations. You'll be sure to score with over 2,000 new or pre-owned vehicles in stock. That's over $50 million worth of inventory, and credit is never a deal breaker. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. Where nobody walks away. Because everybody saves. It's Tupelo.
Back at it in set 4. Just getting underway out of that timeout. Tupelo trailing 14-9. We were wondering when that timeout would come. And there, Coach Booth trailing by 5. They do it. Hopkins soft. They're saying it was outside the antenna from Hopkins, and
she hit the antenna with it.
There, with the contact, it will end up being a point for Madison Central. Fairburn will serve it for the Jags.
Really got to dig deep here for Tupelo and turn this one around right now before it gets too late.
Bit deep that time. Tupelo has won the last 2 sets after falling in set 1, but Madison has stormed out to an advantage, and Tupelo's been in chase mode ever since. Carter sets it forward. Mulrooney and long goes soft. A free ball opportunity for Madison Central. Angled hit from McIntyre. Here's Hopkins. Big swing off the block. Point Tupelo.
Did everything right there. Great passing, great setting. Great finish there.
And on Madison's side, they were in position. It just made it over.
Yep.
Kinsley Carter tips off the net, and ace brought to you by McCarty Architects.
Kinsley Carter's bringing the serve tonight.
Should mention
multiple aces for her.
Again, a frontline player who is starting to settle in that role of serving. I think they
hard time returning her serves right now.
I think they started her off just as a joke, right? Kind of just messing with her to put her back there, you know, because everybody on the front row likes to try it.
Yeah.
And now it's turned into, well, important match here in division play. You're serving. So it's funny how things can change over the course of even just a short volleyball season. It seems like we just started, Wes, and we're in the final run of it.
Not a long season.
Tipped off the block, and this run after the timeout, well worth that timeout if you're Coach Booth. Looks like Barble's going to get some time here.
Guess she did it, called that timeout right when her team needed it. She knows her team the best, and they responded really well coming out.
So Reese Barbles will serve it for the Lady Wave. They trail 16-13. Miller plays it up near the rafters. And there's Hopkins, back row, and she blows it by Fairburn for the point. Look at that on replay, Wes. That's hard to deal with right in between the defense.
Boy, I mean, I don't know if we have a nickname for her or whatever, but like just the power in that small package is really impressive.
16-14. This is as close as the Lady Wave have been in this set.
And Madison Central went to Fairburn in the back row. That's kind of their go-to when they're trying to stop a run. Be interesting to see if they try to go back to that.
Shuttles plays it now. Barbles, who newly entered Barbles, and there's a block, but it comes down on Madison's side of the net. The kill goes to Zimmerman. Don't look now, but it's a 1-point difference in this set. Tupelo trying to come all the way back.
Might see a Madison Central timeout here if they don't get a point.
They'll hit it over on the second.
And that setter's sneaky.
Back row attack. Really not a great attack that time from Fairburn. There's Zimmerman floating in with a soft hit.
What an impressive dig by the libero from Madison Central right there.
There's Hopkins, softly hits off the top of the net. Judon keeps it alive. This is a long rally.
Oh.
Great set and kill there from McIntyre.
You got to feel good about everything you just did if you're Tupelo. I mean, Madison Central too. I mean, you hung in there. Eventually, Madison Central got the best attack out of that long rally.
There is some extra momentum that you get after a longer rally like that, but even to get that far along, you don't feel too bad as a defense, but there, the point right in front of Shuttles.
Yeah, and the difference in the last few points is that we are not having the greatest pass, so we're not getting a very clean attack, and Madison Central's really able to put down a better kill. It's hard to...
Zimmerman mishits there, so it goes to 19-15, and Madison back with a stranglehold on this set.
Yeah, when the pass is so far off, it just throws your whole offense out of whack.
And a 3-point run for the Jags after Tupelo had cut it to 16-15. There's Hopkins.
Hopkins is feeling it, so unfortunately she's subbing out of the front row now.
But fortunately, she's going back to serve, Wes, and she can go on a run back there.
Yeah, she's got the hot hand. Might even be interested in setting her up in the back row if I'm Tupelo offense.
So you're saying if it was a video game, she would have like the red underneath her, like on fire player
She's on
right
fire.
now. Simmons, that set was too far into the net for her to do anything with it. It's 20-16, important number to get to, 20. Now Madison just 5 points away from sending us into a fifth set, which these teams did the last time they met, which was on the 29th of August.
Interesting decision making here. I think from Coach Booth going with Barbles instead of your other two setters you have.
Yeah.
Seen mainly all Sophie Mulrooney and Mamie Shettles, but going with a completely new hand, you just see a little discombobulation, which I don't blame on Barbles, but I mean, you hadn't been in.
It's been a while, as you said. Barbles played in that JV match, but Tupelo ends up with the point there.
Yeah, you expect coming in the fourth set for the first time, you might be a little rusty.
You're right.
You've been sitting there for a while.
So 20-17, Tupelo trying to battle back. They'll toss it back. Dylan Miller will serve it for Tupelo. Needing to rally. Have went on a bit of a run here. There's Carter, soft. And that should be a fourth hit. And it will be 21 points for the Jags.
Yeah, just not a good set right there. And that's the thing in the middle too. When you're on the outside, you set the outside, you can kind of have a bad set and still be able to do something with it. But in the middle, it's impossible really to get it back if the set's not there.
There's Simmons. Madison somehow keeps it alive. There's Zimmerman off the block, the point. Tupelo staying alive in this set.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Madison Central got that one back over, but if you're Tupelo, you need to run right now. You need to stop the bleeding right now.
So Cat Long will check in for Barbles. And Mulrooney also in. Madison will get the point after the service error.
Yeah, really at the point now, down 22-18, you can't really make any more mistakes.
Service error for Madison. Gives it right back.
But you love it when they do.
Lily Shettles back, and she has had a solid night back there serving. Putting it really right there, about 5 foot behind that 10-foot line. And a big hit and kill right in front of Lily.
Yeah, with Fairburn in the front row right now. Well, now she's going back. Never mind, going back to serve. So it might be best now. She got out of the front row. As you would expect them to go to her early and often.
Tupelo down 4. Madison ends up losing the point. Tupelo blocks it back down. It was tipped by Madison.
Yeah, I'm glad that played out that way, because I actually don't know that ball did get blocked and go over the net. I'm not sure the ref would have caught it, but need everything to bounce our way right now.
Down 3. Tupelo needing a point badly, and it'll be a kill. That's the disadvantage of having Carter on that back row, right? You lose some mobility that you might normally have if you have the libero in.
Yeah. Well, but you got to everybody's got to rotate, unfortunately.
Timeout Tupelo, and we'll stay here with you with a 1-minute timeout. And
can you go on a 5 or 6 point run, I guess is what you need here.
Yeah, going to have to go on a run. As you said, you got to win by 2. So, and Madison already with the set point in line.
At least if you can at least score 4 here, maybe, then you're back in it. It's a tall order, but anything can happen.
You are right. In this match so far, we've had a little bit of everything, for sure. These two teams, as I said, previous meeting went 5 sets. Might be headed that way. If Madison can get one more point, Dixon will serve. We've got the all clear on the whistle. Dixon didn't take much of a pause. She just went ahead and hit it.
A false start.
On the offense, right?
Yep.
Madison trying to surprise there. Hits it across. Martin did. They're not getting any swings off so far, Wes, and you like that if you're Tupelo. Short set to Judon. It's deep, and we're heading to a 5th set. 25-20. Madison takes set 4. They take sets 1 and 4, breaking that run for Tupelo. And we will head to a race to 15 in the 5th set. We'll be right back after this. This is Tupelo Volleyball on the Golden Wave Sports Network, presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Dr. Carl Bevering has been practicing in the greater Tupelo area for the past 22 years, specializing in brain and spine surgery, dedicated in providing advanced and comprehensive care for neurological and spine disorders, the care you need right around the corner.
The Barnes Crossing Automotive Group is a proud sponsor of Tupelo High School athletics, and we are committed to giving back to the community. The Barnes Crossing Auto Group will always give you the best price at any of our 7 Northeast Mississippi locations. You'll be sure to score with over 2,000 new or pre-owned vehicles in stock. That's over $50 million worth of inventory, and credit is never a deal breaker. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. Where nobody walks away. Because everybody saves. It's Tupelo.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Heading to a 5th set here on the Golden Wave Sports Network. Volleyball coverage presented by Dr. Carl Bevering, Dylan Hutton alongside Wes Schrickle, Zach Zimmerman producing tonight's broadcast. And Wes, here we are, 5th set, race to 15. Momentum seemingly back on Madison Central's side.
Yeah, well, you knew it was going to be this way. I mean, you knew Madison Central wasn't going to go down easy. This is really where you find out who you are. You really, I mean, no matter what, I think this is a positive for Tupelo to take this to the 5th set, but you don't want a moral victory here. You want to beat one of the best teams in your division and feel good about yourself going forward to the very end here and going into the tournament.
And not only that, you just need it. From Tupelo's perspective, you've lost 6 of your last 8. You've lost 3 straight in division. You're trying to get things righted here at home. If you are the Lady Wave, they have one more division match left. It's against Murrah on the 1st of October. But you need to get this one to solidify your place in the standings.
Yeah, because if you lose, you're really, you're not really having a chance to be up in the top there. If you win this one, maybe some things will fall your way.
Yeah, you're putting yourself out there to drop to a 4 seed, which you don't want to be. We're waiting to get the lineups all cleared up here. In set 5, on the Golden Wave Sports Network. Going to be a fun one. Has been. Madison Central took set 1, 25-16. Tupelo set 2 and 3, 25-19 and 25-21. And then set 4 just finished up. Madison Central got it, 25-20. So every set has been impressive.
I will say, just from body language, the one side looks a lot more relaxed. In Madison Central, Tupelo looks a little more tense. So I wonder if that might be foreboding this last set.
Got to give credit to Madeline Norris. We thought she turned her ankle early in this match, and she's still in there battling. It didn't look particularly good, did it, whenever she went down, but she has been battling in there as Hopkins hits it into the net. Rare mistake for her. And Madison gets the first. They're 14 away.
Yeah, you just really can't get in the hole here. Only going to 15.
Madison's only lost 4 matches this year and only 1 in division to Germantown. Big swing and a kill. They've really attacked that back row in that back right corner. 2-0, Madison. How have they been able to get those down so quick, just the angle of the attack?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just no block. I mean, there is a block, but getting around the block, and then if you just, the set, and I mean, ideally everyone looks like that. Every hit looks like that. But if you get the set and the approach and the hit right, then, yeah, you're going to be wanting to hit that 10-foot line almost every time.
Tupelo will end up with the point after that one ricochets outside the antenna on the pass forward. 2-1, they trail. Great job by Hopkins controlling, but Tupelo out of position to set that pass.
Just need to relax a little bit if you can. Everybody take a deep breath. I feel like you're overthinking everything right now.
Simple as that. Take a deep breath, Wes says.
Yeah, simple as that, right in the middle.
And that one just in on that inside corner right in front of Coach Booth, 4-1.
You really got to call a timeout right here. I mean, everything, all the momentum is against you.
Serve across. Tupelo trying to get some momentum. There's Hopkins. Played well by the libero, Norris.
Yeah.
That one rattles around in the rafters. And this rally will continue. There's Zimmerman. Off balance hit, but a good attempt. An air-mailed swing by McIntyre.
Boy, we needed that. We needed that really bad. We hadn't put together really anything helpful or usable, but hopefully that bailout will help us get back in it. Only down by 2.
Miller with that hitch, as we see in her serve. Big swing, back corner, and a kill. We've seen it all too often from Fairburn.
Fairburn's a great hitter. More often than not, she's going to make you pay. And with her in the front row right now, you got to expect you're going to see a lot of her.
5-2, Madison Central. Third of the way there. Again, we're in the 5th set between Tupelo and Madison Central, division matchup. Big swing, and Miller can't handle it. 6-2, timeout Tupelo. We'll stay here with you. Wes, good teams show up at the big moments, and right now Madison's playing loose, as you noted.
Yeah, they're very loose. They're having fun. They're kind of joking around with each other, excited. And we have been the opposite. Even just going in, we just look tight, look tense. Coach is mad, players are upset. It's just kind of hard to really feel good when you're more like excited to play rather than worried about messing up.
Yeah, body language too right now for Tupelo, very closed off. Madison playing loose. Of course, when you only have the 1 division loss, you can play a little loose.
Yeah, totally.
Of course, they don't have as much leeway as you would think because they do have Germantown still left on Thursday at home. So, for them, the preaching point was not look ahead to Germantown, but they knew they were going to have a challenge here in Tupelo because this Lady Wave team took them to 5 sets in their own house earlier in this season. What do you think Coach Booth is even talking about. I think she's probably unhappy with all the stuff that's gotten through on that back row. A lot of points coming through there, but as you said, if you don't stop it at the front, they're going to have openings as hard as they're hitting it for the back row to even have a chance. You said they're just getting pounded.
I don't even know where you start, honestly. We were making so many mistakes, but they know what to do. It's just execution.
You can't help that one. It hit the lowest rafter. 7-2.
And like right now, I mean, volleyball is such a skill and mental sport. Once you kind of get in your head, it's hard for that not to just become a downfall.
Into the net. Madison will give the serve back over to Tupelo.
Yeah, this is really your last chance, if you're Tupelo to get back in it here. Because once it gets to 10, you're down by so much. It's 7-3, but it has felt like it's much bigger.
Feels like 12-3, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Mulrooney into serve, hits it right at the libero. There's a block. That'll get some momentum back. Carter and Long teaming up.
Yeah, just like that, you're down by 3.
From 12-3 to now you're just down 7-4.
Now it's 7-4. Went from 12-3 to 7-4. Emotionally, it did for sure.
Just stymie this run, and that will give momentum right back. Just a tough serve. You can't try to make that tough of a serve.
Yeah.
Right. You just got to get it across and let your team play. But
it looked like it came off her hand wrong. It was just a mistake to win down 8-4 in a 15-set point match. You can't make any mistakes.
Every point is magnified in the 5th set. Simmons back row, and that's deep. Just everything going wrong for Tupelo in this 5th set. It's been a match of momentum, and it's certainly swung orange here in the 4th and 5th.
Yep.
That's why you got to put the good teams down when you got the chance.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's a great play by Mulrooney.
That was a great play by Mulrooney. It looks like she kind of took a little bit out of the Madison Central setters playbook with that sneaky set there. Usually when she does that, and I kind of say I don't like it, it's because it's kind of telegraphed, but she did a really good job disguising that.
Here's Lily Shettles, Tupelo down 4. Need a run badly and need it now. Set to Carter, and she'll somehow get it across. Point Madison, 10-5. Hopkins couldn't handle it.
Boy, I don't know what the issue is on that middle attack, but we have not been able to line it up almost at all tonight. I think maybe one time.
They've gotten one kill and one cleanly off other than that, so not a lot of middle attacks.
Yeah, Kinsley Carter's like already up in the air, and the ball's, she's got to try to hang. That just can't be the way that works.
Miller with a diving dig. There's Hopkins angling it, played by the libero, and Carter puts it right back down. That's what Tupelo needed there.
Yep.
Thing about it, Tupelo not giving up, battling for every point. But as you said, it hasn't been the cleanest night, both setters and hitters.
Yeah, it's just that middle attack. It just hasn't been there tonight.
Hopkins again trying to play through her. Goes soft, Madison keeping it alive. I think right there, Martin had a chance at it and said it was flat-footed hit for McIntyre, went into the net. Timeout, Madison Central. Yeah. We'll stay here with you. Again, timeout's brought to you by Raising Cane's. We'll just hang right here. Momentum starting to swing a little bit for Tupelo, but you still need to pick up a few more points here to feel like you can be in range of getting back.
You feel like you're in it now. I think early on when it was 7-3, really felt like, ooh, we're about to get destroyed here. But
yeah, it went from 5-2 to 6-2 to ended up being 7-3, and now Tupelo with a fighting chance.
Yeah, you feel like you're in it now. Just really can't make any mistakes. The service errors, the setting errors, the passing errors, we really just got to do everything right.
10-7, Kinsley Carter, who's had a decent night serving, will serve it straight into the net here, and it's just in these pressure moments, getting back there and serving makes it tough.
And coming out of a timeout, too. gives you more time to think about it, kind of ices you and gets you in the head. Hopefully you can get them to make a mistake here.
11-7, 4 points away as Madison Central from what would be a nice comeback for them to build some more momentum. They've won 6 in a row. Only 4 matches lost this season and only 1 in division. There's blocked, but it's off the block and out of bounds.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough break. You had a really good block there. Just angled it a little wrong way.
Now Madison 3 points away. And again, Tupelo can't get that pass forward, and Catlon can't run it down. 13-7, and now things getting very bleak for the Lady Wave. Timeout, and we'll stay here with you. Again, our broadcast coverage presented by Dr. Carl Bevering, but we'll hang right here on the Golden Wave Sports Network. Just a match that's seemingly gotten out of the hands of the Lady Wave here at the very end, and credit to Madison Central because they have stormed back after losing those middle 2 sets 2 and 3, to take set 4 the way they did in a battle and just have come out and dominated this 5th set.
I really like that timeout by Coach Booth, though, just not giving up. You know, it's really easy to feel like, man, we're so far behind now. There's really not a chance anything can happen, but it just sends a message to your team, too, that, like, we're going to keep fighting the entire time. We're not going to give up until it's over.
As you said, it's a game of runs, and right now Madison Central is enjoying one, up 13-7. Here's Hopkins, swing, blocked. Madison will keep it alive for the moment, but the point will end up coming down for Tupelo. Still in range, West, 5 points. Thing is, you got to get them, and you got to get them quick.
Yeah, you really, I mean, I keep saying you can't make mistakes, but like you really can't make mistakes.
Shettles. Point for Madison. They're a point away. Great play. Softly in front of that back line. And now it is a match point opportunity for the Lady Jags as Morgan Martin will serve it.
Gracie was pleading her case about something there. I'm not really sure what it was.
Now the official going to come across and chat. I'm sure this is what Gracie was chatting about.
Was it in the net or maybe a rotation issue?
So they are going to look and chat with the official and figure out if there is a rotation issue.
Yeah, so whatever happened, Gracie immediately recognized it and ran to the official.
So 14-8, Madison has a match point possibly in the works unless they were out of rotation.
If anything, you're kind of icing them. Yeah, there you go. Got a point. I'm not sure exactly what that is.
Trying to say they were out of rotation, I assume, Wes, so that'll take the 14 off and send them back to 13 points for the moment, but now they're going to look at the lineup that was turned in for this 5th set.
Yeah, Gracie noticed something immediately. I think maybe whoever attacked, maybe it was out of place.
So that's a little housekeeping be taken care of here. It's an important moment for this to be taking place, right? With the what would have been the 14th point, Gracie Hopkins noticing something, and
13-9, what it would be, maybe.
Yeah, it'll go back to 13-9.
That's a lot better than 14-8. That's for sure.
Yeah, you don't want to see that 14. So we're still waiting in a holding pattern in set 5. Madison has all the momentum, but this almost working as a timeout for Tupelo despite the fact they can't huddle up and talk with Coach Booth.
Well, you're at least maybe icing Madison Central a little bit. They were on a pretty good run there. Any hope can be fuel.
You are right. Again, our broadcast coverage presented by Dr. Carl Bevering, Barnes Crossing Hyundai, McCarty Architects, Raising Cane, Super Chicks, Barnes Crossing Volkswagen, and Hodges Orthodontics. Quite a stoppage here as Coach McEachern, I should say, for Madison Central over there chatting with her team. So she's got a Stanley Cup that's made the trip up from Madison Central.
For product placement.
Yeah. If they want to sponsor, us, right?
Long
discussion here at the scorers table. I think either way, fans from either team would probably be happy with seeing a decision be made one way or another.
It's a big call. I mean, it's a huge call, really.
They changed their minds, and the point will end up going to Madison Central, 14-8 after it's all said and done. Little sleuthing there for the official on that far side. She checks out the paperwork and says, you were in order. So we're back in order, and it's a match point for Madison Central. Zimmerman hits it, played by the libero. Blocked, but it's out, and Madison Central comes from behind to win it, 15-8. In set 5, they trailed 2-1 in this match and battled back one set 4, 25-20, and then took set 5, 15-8. Wes, final thoughts on this one?
I just hate it for Golden Wave. This one, like many, was right in their grasp. That I do think we have the players and good enough. It's just the little things and the consistency over set to set. It's a good team to lose to.
Yeah, deflating loss there for the Lady Wave. They fall to 17-13. Madison moves to 14-4 and 7-1 in division. Tupelo is now 4-4, 500 in Division II 7A. With that, we were going to cap off our broadcast coverage tonight. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. October 1st for Murrah Senior Night. We'll be back here for that one. It'll start at 6. Try to have a JV broadcast for that as well. But thank you for tuning in. Tupelo falls in 5 sets to Madison Central for the second time this year. They fall in 5 sets to the Jags. From Dylan Hutton and Wes Schrickle, I'm very thankful for Zach Zimmerman for producing tonight's broadcast. Again, our coverage is presented by Dr. Carl Bevering. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Be sure to get to Tupelo High School for community tailgate starting at 5 o'clock on Friday, and then the football game against Oxford at home at 7. We'll have it on air as well on Sunny 93.3 FM, sunny933fm.com, and at goldenwaveathletics.com streaming there. But thank you for tuning in. Tupelo falls 3-2 here at home to Madison Central. I hope you have a good rest of the week. Good night from Tupelo.